Hello and welcome to the Weight Free Wellness Podcast. I'm Tara Bachland, the hostess and creator of the Weight Free Wellness Podcast, and also the author of You-niversal Self-care. And this is episode number 36, Overcome Resistance on Your Health Journey. Resistance shows up in a number of ways on your health journey, and I'm just going to cover a couple of them here. When you dedicate yourself to a healthier way of living, this first push is you overcoming your own resistance. And if you're not quite there yet, we'll talk about that a little bit later. This is good because you will need the strength of overcoming your own resistance to overcome the resistance from others. So first of all, the resistance from yourself. It kind of seems like counterintuitive, like why would you be resisting yourself? But in my experience, the resistance you get from yourself is really a fear of letting go of the familiar and the resulting consequences. So if you're considering making healthy changes, you might be thinking the following or some variation of the following. So I think if you change your way of eating, how will you convince your family members to do the same? So that's resistance, and that's resistance in your own head. Or how will you make time to prepare separate meals in that case? Instead of trying to convince them to eat differently, how will you make the time to do more, essentially? Or if you join the class that helped you to feel healthier before, how will you make that time again with your family? And so it's a matter of time again. So there may be a number of ways that resistance comes up with time, money, relationship dynamics. And I encourage you just to kind of brainstorm the resistances, the fears that are coming up in you. The list can be extensive for worries and concerns, and it's different for each person. They can be very real and seemingly unsurmountable, and they might just be several little things or many little things that deter you from instituting the change that you know you need to do in order to achieve the level of health you ultimately desire or even need in your life. And this resistance, I think, is really normal. There will come a point when your pain of your ailments or just knowing and feeling that your health is suffering, that all the excuses will go out the window. You will do away with them and you will just bust out of your cocoon and choose a new life, a new way of being. And, sometimes I think what I'm saying and what I'm writing sounds a little too simple, like it's just going to happen. But really, the most amazing things in life are pretty simple. And if you're experiencing this resistance, I think we all come to a point in life and various aspects of life where we just get fed up. And I'm writing another article on just that, so I won't get too far into this, but you'll know if you're there, if you're going through it. If you're still feeling the resistance in yourself, it's normal. And I would say kind of let it incubate. It's not a comfortable feeling, but in a way you want it to fester, because that's going to be the momentum that busts you out of that cocoon. So overcoming self-resistance, in my experience and observation, just happens. It's like the butterfly emerging from the cocoon. One day you're just too big, and I want you to read into this and think fed up. You're too big for that, for your space, for your circumstances, and you cannot stand being within this cramped space any longer. And if you're experiencing frustration, good. Know that you're at the right place and you're on the verge of pushing through your own resistance. You're getting to the point of emerging from your cocoon, and once you overcome yourself, you can totally manage any resistance from others. So resistance from others, that's the other step. And I'm going to hit mostly on loved ones because that's what usually affects us the most. What I didn't emphasize so much is if you are actually at the point of your health and wellness journey where you're really relying upon a health practitioner to aid you along the way. You may feel at times that you're experiencing resistance from them also. And you can take some of these principles and apply. They may be, your risk is, since I didn't go into so much in this article, I do feel it's important to hit upon it a little bit. Notice if your resistance, do you really trust this health practitioner? And to a certain degree, if you're trusting them, follow and try their advice. They may be actually helping you through your own resistance. So that's just a little tip there. But otherwise, resistance from others, getting through your own resistance helps to prepare you for dealing with external resistance. And it may seem counterintuitive, but sometimes those who are closest to you, those who say that they love you, can cause the greatest resistance. They know the old you. They like the old you, even if they complain about you at times for being the old you. The old you is predictable to them, and predictable means comfortable. And who doesn't like to feel comfortable, especially around those we love? So loved ones may say that they support our health and healing path, and they may be very genuine about this, but this means that their life will also change, especially the closer they are to us. And many of us say that we want change, we desire a certain result, but rarely do we understand or are we comfortable with the little changes along the way that are required for the big change to happen. And the people nearest to you may truly want the end result, the goal for you, but they may not realize the changes that they may have to go through in their life. And just recognize this. The people with your best interest at heart will support your healthy changes, or at least be neutral, so long as the process does not mean that you're destructive to others. I just encourage you to communicate with those who are closest to you. Express the importance of you making these changes and how it can help you, not only you, but other areas of your life, and even how it may benefit them. So going back to the destructive point, of course, I'm assuming that you don't mean to be destructive to anyone else if you're making healthy choices for yourself. But this is just a little hindsight here too, is when you are at the point of just being fed up and you overcome your own resistance, you may have so much momentum that you take all seeming obstacles out of your way. And that's a great thing. But just be mindful that this kind of creates turbulence in those around you. So I'd encourage you to communicate with those around you. Make new agreements about time shared, maybe even exercise together. Make your changes healthy in your environment as well. Share in household duties and roles to help you create new healthy habits. So rather than just adopting a new workout schedule and skipping out and leaving more of the household duties or other things, or just leaving certain loved ones out of your life because you're on this path, just be mindful that this may create some turbulence, like I said, and to communicate is really the best way to prevent any of this. So if you expect that those closest to you will just adapt to your new way of eating, new exercise schedule, or change in priorities, they may feel left out or even taken advantage of. Communicate instead of just expecting the support. Set yourself up for success. And when you do this, you'll be very pleasantly surprised by the results. But if you still experience resistance, which may happen, if you still experience resistance, carry on through the challenges of those resisting you. You are the product of your environment, and as you seek a healthy lifestyle, you will be faced with deciding whom you allow in your environment. Learn to be very discerning on what is necessary and what is not. Be solution-oriented. Seek to find the possibilities, not the limitations. Make healthy changes anyways, despite the resistance. Trust your instincts. Seek to learn what this experience is teaching you. And also, what you may not know is that you are lighting the way. You inspire others to lead a healthy life. You open the door for others to think it's possible for them. And I encourage you to just keep tapping into that energy of you overcoming the resistance in yourself. Be mindful of your situation, but keep on this healthy growth path, and the resistances will become less and less significant in your life and easier to overcome. Thanks for listening to this Weight Free Wellness podcast. This is episode number 36, and until next time.